Hi, my name's Emily. Today I would like to chat about my crafty goals for this year and for next year. First of all, I will just share a little bit about me. I am a paper crafter. I enjoy scrapbooking, making journals and cards. I do consider that I have a small supply of craft products, and I still think that I have a lot for what crafting I actually do. So this year I wanted to try and get that under control and think and be more mindful on what I bring into my craft space. So what went well? I stuck to my budget overall. I allowed 50 Australian dollars per month to spend on crafty items, and there were some months where I didn't spend any money at all, or very little. I do think I was more mindful of my purchases. I considered whether I really did like the papers or collections I was bringing into my space. I also thought about what photos or upcoming photos I would have to scrapbook, and I also did a lot of B-side shopping for future collections I was making and for my rainbow section of my paper. I did do a lot of sampling or just buying a selection of a collection instead of buying the full collection. Janet on RTS calls it sampling of supplies. So here I'll show you what I buy when I'm only buying a few things or a few parts of a collection. This is simple vintage farmhouse garden. I bought the sticker sheet, which has all the colours, and I also bought the papers, the solid papers, because my way of thinking is I would have some pattern paper to match these colours and then make a collection. Here is another one. This is Simple Stories, and it's simple vintage ancestry. Again, I bought the stickers, and I wasn't quick enough to buy the solids this time, so I had to be particular in which pattern papers I would buy and use and still get the same colour scheme, so I could make, I could add my own papers to bulk up the page kits I would make. I also bought the cutter parts, which also has the lovely green on the back. So that's a 2-for-1. And I also bought these butterflies. I absolutely love butterflies and blue, so I bought this one. I don't care so much for the other side, which is just old vintage photos. Another example is this one. This is also Simple Stories, Bunnies and Blooms. And when I was looking at the papers earlier, I'm thinking I have got upcoming garden photos that I could use these papers to scrap with, just with the icons here. Even though this is Easter, and it's Christmas here at the moment, the seasons are right. This is very spring and summer, and we are in summer at the moment. I will just show you this too, because I want to be honest. I did initially buy a few of these papers with good intentions of only buying a few and then creating page kits. But then a few months later, you know, you get, this comes on sale and then you get the opportunity to buy it. And I did that twice. I know I at least did that twice this year. First time was with Photo Play Heart and Home. I just absolutely love the colours. And the second time, which you probably all would understand why I did it, is Cartabella by the Sea. Absolutely beautiful. I only bought a few because I did not know at the time I would have the opportunity to get it on sale and be able to buy it. The other thing I wanted to show is I live in Australia, so Kaiser Craft is right on our doorstep. It is easy for us to buy in store and online. The shipping is fantastic. I am lucky enough to have a store open in our town, which is 5 minutes away, but I also buy online too. So this is what I would typically buy on sale, is the collection 6.5 paper pad, which also has die cuts in the back, and the die cuts. But I will say I have been mindful with which collections I bring into my space, because there's no point in buying it if I'm not going to use it. One thing I did learn about myself this year, I enjoy making page kits and homemade knockoff kits. I made 4 this year. This one I'm showing now is Echo Park Let's Go Anywhere, and I've got it stored in with my travel themed collections. But looking at this, I'm thinking that I might move it to a different category within my space, and I'm thinking it might go into winter, because if I was going to scrap any travel photos, I probably wouldn't reach for this collection unless it was like a winter type trip. The reality is that I would most likely build a homemade kit using this as an inspiration, which is Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Great Escape, then use this one. I'll just quickly show you. I did the same sort of thing that I usually do. I bought the stickers, and I also bought the solid colours, and I've just got a variety of collections in this one, because I just bought a sampling. So I've got the Great Escape, Vintage Coastal and Vintage Traveller, just all in the one sleeve, because the colour palettes are very similar. So I've just kept them all together. So I remember that I have them. So the other homemade kits that I made this year was Simple Stories Safe Travels. I did make a kit before I actually bought the collection, and once I bought the collection I then combined them together, which I'm using for the holiday photos that I have been scrapbooking at the moment. So I have 2 page kits left of Lemon Twist. I'll insert some photos to show you what the papers in here look like. And I also recently just made the Simple Stories Hearth and Home collection, which I do have a video on YouTube showing what's in my homemade kit for that collection. So let me now talk about what I didn't think went well. I didn't write things down. I don't know how much I brought in, because I was just gauging things on, I've got this amount of money to spend per month and that is it. So I really don't know how many pieces of paper I brought in. I only know by looking at my shelves with what I remember is new this year. And I also don't know how much I've used of something, whether it be adhesive or journaling cards or paper or anything like that. I really don't know how much I used, because I didn't write it down. And the other thing I didn't think I did well at was not using my tools enough. I have got embossing folders for my Big Shot that I do not use. I also have stamps that I do not use, and I also have a scan and cut that I should probably use more than what I actually do, because it is quite a fantastic machine to have. So with that, let me talk about this coming year. Before I talk about my goals, I want to just mention this. I brought this paper pad into my space in November. It is suitable for everyday scrapping, and it's the colours of the rainbow. Looking at this paper pad, It's 48 sheets. 4 of them I think are tags and cut aparts. So that leaves me with 44 sheets on just the 12 by 12. So I was thinking to myself, oh, if I do the 4x4 method, which Janet does on RTS, that's 44 layouts. So I actually, for interest's sake, counted how many layouts I've completed this year, and I've completed around 40. So the reality is I would have only needed one paper pad to do all the layouts for this year. Yet I've brought this into my space in one sitting. And I know I bought more than one paper pad this year. I know I bought Magical Forest, and there might have been another crepe paper one that I also brought in. Not to mention the 6x8 here, which is 36 sheets. So what are my goals for this year? This year I would like to attempt to do a spending freeze, which will be done quarterly. So I will go 3 months without spending, then I will allow myself to spend and then go again for another 3 months. So the budget I was thinking at the end of quarter one would be $100 to buy crafty items, and then I will go again for another 3 months and then spend again. So at least I'm still limiting what I bring in, yet I'm still giving myself time to use what I already have. Saying something and doing something are two different things, and I do think it is going to be a challenge, but I'm going to give it a try. I am worried about missing out on things, but what I'm going to try and do to counteract that is focus more on the projects that I want to achieve in that quarter and the next quarter to keep me going. Speaking of projects, I will show you So for quarter one, which is January to March, I want to focus on finishing my holiday album, which you've seen some of the layouts from that on YouTube. I would say that I'm halfway, so I've probably got 6 layouts to do. So I want to finish that, and I have got the product already to complete that project, so there's no need for me to buy anything to complete that project. What I'm showing here is the scraps from the layouts that I've already completed. I've just kept them together in this plastic bag. There's 6 by 8 and there's also full 12 by 12s in here. I have also got, that's the collection kit, which I'm using a combination of safe travels, travel notes and going places, all by Simple Stories in the page kits. So I have them all here, all bundled up, ready to go. The other project that I would like to complete is my everyday photos for 2021. I have got photos already printed, but there are still plenty more that need to be printed and then layout scrapped for those. I'm not sure at this point whether I'm going to have a layout goal of how many layouts I want to achieve. I probably do want to achieve more than this year, which is around 40. But I do know that I am going to try and record my spending, what I'm bringing in. I'm going to create a wish list so I know what I need to buy when the 3 months come around and I can bring things into my space. This is a TN that I have put together, which I'm going to start in January. At the moment it is pretty much blank, so this is what I'm going to use in the new year. I'm also wanting to use my tools more. I have got embossing folders that I can use with my Big Shot. It's just remembering that I have these and learning how to add these to my layouts. As I mentioned before, I have got stamps. I've also got border punches and a scan and cut, which are tools that hopefully will give me more creativity and more focus to use them in my crafting. Another thing that I want to try and do this coming year, and you would have seen it if you watched any of my other videos before, and that's using my scraps. This is only what you have seen. There is plenty more that I've got sorted in rainbow that I really just need to try and decrease. Maybe I need to think about not gutting my papers like you have seen on layouts. Maybe that's something I need to do to stop big pieces of these hanging around, or thinking about what I'm actually going to keep as in regards to size. or just making the effort to die cut these so they're actually in a different shape so they're ready to use. The last thing that I do want to focus on as a goal this year is organising my die cuts. I did buy this the other day, which I thought would try and at least get them out of the paper bags. But what I would like to do is try and get them organised. Janet on RTS has shown this many times with the die cut books and binders. I have started my own. This is dedicated to travel, so I'll just give you a quick flip. So I've just got an index in the front, and then I've got the die cuts in here. And I tell you what, seeing these organised this way, I really like it, and I know what I've got. And it's easy just to find when I'm creating a layout. I hope you enjoyed my video today. I'd appreciate it if you liked it. Hit the like button. If you want to see more videos from me, hit the subscribe, and also share my videos if you want. I hope I've inspired you to think about your 2022 goals, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.